Jackie, for more on the crisis at our southern border, let's bring in former acting ICE director and Heritage visiting fellow, as well as Fox News contributor Tom Homan. Tom, you just heard Brian Yennis's report there down in Eagle Pass. That sector, they've had 1,190 crossings in the last 24 hours. They are up 158%, and it looks like Title 42 is on the way out. What do you make of the situation right now?
Well, look, it's only going to get worse, right? I spent the last 2 days getting angry at the TV set when the secretary is under oath, sitting in front of Congress, saying the border is secure, the border is closed, and we're effectively managing this crisis. He lied under oath. The first sitting cabinet member that I know of that lied under oath to members of Congress. He lies every day to the American people. You can't say the border is closed and secure when you got over 700,000 gotaways. You can't say the border's secure when you got nearly 700 migrants have died on U.S. soil making this trip. You can't say the border's secure when there's enough fentanyl come across this border that's killed 112,000 people. You can't say the border's secure when the Mexican cartels are making billions. The Mexican cartels control our southern border, Griff. We no longer control it. And a chief patrol agent told me he has lost operational control of the border. They can't contain what's coming in right now, even with Title 42. If they lift Title 42, God help us.
Well, and the projections are you could have as many as 18,000 a day. You ran ICE. You ran one of the border enforcement agencies. What does that do? How does the Border Patrol, CBP, ICE, how do they deal with something like that?
Well, first of all, we got to understand, even with Title 42, they've arrested 42 people on the FBI screening database. That's what they arrested. Now, we know terrorists, they try to evade law enforcement. They're trained to do that. So if they've arrested 42 successfully, how many of the 700,000 are known as suspected terrorists? Border Patrol's arrested people from 161 countries. Many of those countries support terrorism. So if anybody thinks not a single one of the 700,000 came to this country to do us harm, that got away, then they're ignorant. They're not looking at the facts. And look, the Title 42, they lifted, I just said the Border Patrol's already overwhelmed. Just last month, 67,000 gotaways. Just in 1 month, 67,000 gotaways. We don't know who the hell they even are. So this immigration crisis, this humanitarian crisis, this public safety, public health crisis is turned into a national security crisis. And I'm angry with the secretary because if he had 1 ounce of integrity, he would call the White House saying, I no longer can support this open borders agenda because it's put this country at great risk of terrorist attacks. That is just a stone cold fact. So shame on him for continuing to support the open borders, and shame on him for lying under oath in front of Congress.
So, Tom, what should Congress do then? Do we hope that there is some bipartisan effort to stop Title 42 from lifting, to perhaps go after Secretary Mayorkas?
Well, look, even with Title 42, the secretary said, well, that's a CDC thing. I can't control that. But what he can control is the Remain in Mexico program. We sued him to put that back in place. I was a part of that lawsuit. I've written more affidavits for the state of Texas than I ever did as a special agent. So he's got to do the right thing for the American people and stand up and tell the White House no. But what Congress can do is do what they did the other day. Call this secretary out. Call him out. And hopefully we take the House and Senate back and impeach him. He needs to be impeached. He needs to be removed. He has failed. He has been in position for 15 months, almost 16. The president's been in position 16 months. The numbers keep climbing. They haven't done a single thing to slow the flow. Even now, we're lifting Title 42. They're going to spend almost $1 billion building top-cited facilities to process and release quicker, which is just going to tell the cartels, bring more, because they're releasing it even quicker now. It's just everything they've done is it acts as a magnet, and not a single thing, not one enforcement strategy to secure that border.
Well, Tom, we are less than 30 days away from that date, May 23rd, of Title 42 lifting. We shall see what happens and what Congress does, if anything, between now and then. Tom Homan, thank you for joining us. Jackie?
Thanks for having me.